Vote counting underway in the Central African Republic as country elects president and federal lawmakers. Breakaway region of Somaliland achieves diplomatic breakthrough after more than 30 years as Israel becomes first country to give it an international recognition. Plus, British boxer Anthony Joshua injured, 2 others killed following a deadly car crash in Ogun State, Nigeria. Hello and welcome to the program. It's the last Monday in the year 2025. I'm Layo Olarinde. Well, let's begin this week with stories and happenings that made headlines over the weekend.
On Sunday, the Government of National Unity, GNU, held a solemn funeral ceremony for Libya's Army Chief of Staff, Mohammed al-Haddad, and his aides who lost their lives in a plane crash in Ankara after a working visit to Turkey last Tuesday. Turkish President Recep Erdogan expressed his condolences to Libya and reassured that relevant ministries will provide information on the investigation into the incident. Meanwhile, the Libyan embassy says a commission has been formed by the Ministries of Defense and Interior of the Government of National Unity in the Turkish capital as part of investigations into the plane crash. Still on Sunday, Guineans went to the polls to vote in the country's first presidential election since the military seized power in a 2021 coup. The election marks the end of a 4-year political transition that began when interim president of the country, Mamadi Doumbouya, overthrew President Alpha Condé. Some locals expressed their support for the interim president, claiming since he has been in power, they have experienced calmness in the country. However, rights groups and political opponents criticized the military leader for restrictions on political freedoms. EOR opposition candidate Abdoulaye Baldé says the election can serve as a turning point for the country, expressing confidence that voters have embraced his campaign program. Official results are expected this week, with a runoff planned if no candidate secures an outright majority. Still on election matters, Côte d'Ivoire held its parliamentary polls on Saturday amid reports of low voter turnout and political divisions. President Ouattara cast his ballot in the country's 2025 legislative elections, voting at the Lycée Sainte-Marie polling station in Abidjan. Saturday's poll comes just 2 months after presidential elections, in which Ouattara was re-elected for a 4th term with around 90% of the votes. More than 8.7 million registered voters were eligible to elect 255 members of parliament from 205 constituencies. However, sparse crowds were observed at several polling stations. Official results are expected to be announced on Tuesday.
More on electoral matters now. Vote counting continues in Bangui after the Central African Republic held general elections, with incumbent President Faustin Archange Touadéra seeking a 3rd term in office. Electoral staff removed ballot papers from boxes and displaying them to observers as part of transparency measures during the counting process that began on Sunday evening. Well, Sunday's election is widely regarded as the most complex election in the country's history, as voters cast ballots for 4 different levels of government simultaneously, including presidential, legislative, regional and municipal. Here's more on Sunday's election in this next report.
There are 4 elections held on Sunday, December 28th. The presidential, legislative, regional and municipal. The first time in nearly 40 years for such elections to take place in the CAR after a long period of political conflict, including a civil war between the Seleka rebel movement and anti-Balaka groups, displacing 1 million people. President Faustin Archange Touadéra is hoping the vote will give him an expected win to serve a third term. After voting at a polling station in Bangui, the president called on fellow citizens to fulfill their civic duty, saying to reporters, "This is one of those moments when our law truly gives us the strength to choose our leaders. We need everyone to do their homework so that our country can develop and regain peace and security." Touadéra, who made headlines by adopting Bitcoin as a legal tender in 2022, pushed through a referendum in 2023 to abolish a two-term limit and extend presidential mandates from 5 to 7 years. Significant delays in confirming two major challenges have led some opposition groups to boycott the election, labeling it as a sham. Out of 7 candidates, the most prominent opponents are ex-Prime Minister Anicet Georges de Logel and Henri-Marie Dondre. Both candidates cast their ballots in the election. They also urged citizens to vote and raised concerns over transparency and low turnout in the capital. They both questioned the integrity of the electoral process. De Logel also cited restrictions on his campaign. Analysts say Touadéra is still favored to win, given his control over state institutions and greater financial resources. Provincial results are expected by January 5, and if no candidate gets more than 50% of the vote, a presidential runoff will take place in February. Legislative runoffs will take place on April 5th.
Away from electoral matters, after more than 30 years without international recognition, Somaliland has achieved diplomatic breakthrough following Israel's recognition of the breakaway region as an independent nation. Israel has become the first nation in the world to formally recognize Somaliland, marking a significant diplomatic stride for the region in the Horn of Africa. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that Israel and Somaliland had signed a joint declaration establishing full diplomatic relations, describing it as being in the spirit of the Abraham Accords, a set of deals brokered by the U.S. to establish formal ties between Israel and Arab states.
Good to talk to you, and before anything else, I want you to know that I'm signing now, as we speak, Israel's official recognition of Somaliland and its right of self-determination. Our friendship is seminal and historic. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm very proud of this day, and I want to wish you and the people of Somaliland the very, very best there. I think this will be a great opportunity for expanding our partnership. We intend to work together with you on economic fields, on agriculture, in the fields of social development, all the things that we hope we can assist you, and we obviously believe in this friendship. And I have to tell you that there's a lot of excitement here in Israel as well. So I want to use this opportunity, sir, to invite you to an official visit to Israel at your convenience. And I hope very much to see you here soon. This is a wonderful day. It's a historic day. And of course, I'll communicate to President Trump your willingness and desire to join the Abraham Accords. So thank you, Mr. President. Please convey my best regards and the best regards of the people of Israel to the people, to the independent people of Somaliland. Thank you, sir.
Well, after that video call conversation, President of the Republic of Somaliland, Abdi Rahman Abdullahi, reaffirmed his government's commitment to closer cooperation with the international community following Israel's historic recognition of Somaliland's statehood. Speaking from Hargeisa, President Abdullahi said the development marked a turning point after decades of de facto self-rule. He argued that Somaliland could play a constructive role in regional stability and economic development, including in its relations with Somalia, from which it broke away more than 3 decades ago.
After more than 3 decades of peaceful self-governance, constitutional order, and democratic practice, Somaliland has received its first formal international recognition as a sovereign and independent state. This development affirms an objective reality that has long existed. Somaliland meets the legal, political, and institutional criteria of statehood under international law. I express my wholehearted appreciation to the State of Israel for its brave decision, which reflects both historical continuity and confidence in Somaliland's demonstrated commitment to peace, stability, and responsible governance. We give assurance that Somaliland's recognition is not directed against any state, nor does it impose a threat to regional peace. On the contrary, clarity of status contributes to stability. A recognized Somaliland strengthens cooperation, enhances security, and supports economic integration in the Horn of Africa and the Red Sea region. As a sovereign neighbors, Somaliland and Somalia can operate more effectively in peace, trade, security, and regional development. To our regional partners, neighboring countries, and international community, we firmly assure you that recognition of Somaliland is not a threat, not an act of hostility, and not a source of regional tension. To our partners in the Arab and Muslim world, we wish to state clearly that Somaliland is a Muslim nation, deeply rooted in Islamic values of moderation, justice, and coexistence. Our foreign policy is guided by balance, respect, and adherence to international norms. To the United Nations, African Union, IGAD member countries, the League of Arab States, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and the Commonwealth and international partners, we reaffirm Somaliland's readiness to be admitted to a full membership in all international and regional organizations.
All reactions have been trailing Israel's move. Somalia's government released a statement hours after Israel's announcement calling the move an attack on its sovereignty and an unlawful action, and describing Somaliland as an inseparable part of the country. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has also condemned Israel's recognition of the breakaway region of Somaliland as a naked invasion, warning that Somalia would not allow its territory to be used as a base for Israel to prosecute its regional wars. While addressing an emergency joint session of parliament on Sunday, President Mohamud said Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has committed the greatest abuse of Somalia's sovereignty in the nation's history and referred to Israel as an enemy. Lawmakers in Somalia have also unanimously passed a resolution declaring Israel's recognition as null and void, although the measure is largely symbolic, given that Somalia has not controlled Somaliland since its declaration of independence in 1991, I beg your pardon, which Somalia has never accepted. Well, here's Somalia's Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, Daoud Awais, denouncing Israel's claim to recognize Somaliland.
The Federal Republic of Somalia reaffirms its absolute and non-negotiable commitment to its sovereignty, national unity, and territorial integrity as enshrined in the Provisional Constitution of the Federal Republic of Somalia, the Charter of the United Nations, and the Constitutive Act of the African Union. The federal government of Somalia categorically and unequivocally rejects the deliberate attack to its sovereignty and the unlawful step by Israel purporting to recognize the northern region of Somalia. The Somaliland region is an integral, inseparable, and inalienable part of the sovereign territory of the Federal Republic of Somalia. The federal government underscores that Somalia is a single, indivisible, sovereign state, and no external actor has the authority or standing to alter its unity or territorial configuration. Any declaration, recognition, or arrangement that seeks to undermine this reality is null, void, and without any legal or political effect under international law. Matters relating to Somalia's unity, governance, and constitutional order remain the exclusive prerogative of the Somali people to be resolved solely through lawful, constitutional, and peaceful means. Somalia further reiterates its principled and unwavering support for the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, including their right to self-determination, and its firm rejection of occupation, forced displacement, demographic engineering, and settlement expansion in all their forms. In this regard, Somalia will never accept to make the Palestinian people stateless. Somalia makes clear that it will not permit the establishment of any foreign military bases or arrangements on its territory that will draw Somalia into proxy conflicts or import regional and international hostilities into this region.
Still to come on Network Africa. A special report on the return of Nigerians in diaspora back home for the holidays. Please join us again. Welcome back to the program. It was a near miss for Nigerian boxing sensation Anthony Joshua today after the former heavyweight champion sustained injuries in an accident along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Reports say 2 other people were unfortunately killed in the crash. Eyewitnesses report that the incident happened at 11 a.m. today. The vehicle carrying the boxer, Anthony Joshua, a Lexus Jeep, reportedly collided with a stationary truck. Public Relations Officer of the Ogun State Federal Road Safety Corps, Odunsin Afolabi, attributes the cause of accident to overspeeding and wrongful overtaking. He also confirmed 2 occupants of the vehicle dead, while Anthony Joshua sustained minor injuries and is being treated at an undisclosed hospital. The 36-year-old heavyweight has family roots in Shagamu, a town in Ogun State, Nigeria. Well, every Christmas season, thousands of I Just Got Back IJGB's returnees flood Lagos for the movement popularly known as Dirty December. In 2024 alone, Lagos hospitality and tourism sector generated over $71.6 million in revenue, underscoring the economic weight of the festive influx. Our next report examines what the Dirty December movement truly means for the Lagos economy beyond the fun and excitement.
Lagos, Nigeria's bustling commercial hub, comes alive every December. And there's only one reason: Dirty December. Dirty December, a term used to describe a cultural and economic event in Nigeria, is marked by parties, concerts, and the return of Nigerians from abroad to celebrate at home. Thousands of I Just Got Back returnees, or IJGBs, flood the city each December. But this is no ordinary family visit. They eat concerts, clubs, restaurants, turning the city into a hub of culture, music, and networking. But why is Lagos the hot spot?
Oh my God, the events, there's so much activity, there's so much to do, there's diversity, there are concerts, there are parties. Yeah, it's all around good fun.
Well, there's nothing like a Dirty December in Las Guinea, so I had to come out and step out from wherever I was. The cold and that all the diaspora, I couldn't deal with it. I had to be here.
Economists say a weaker naira makes Lagos a luxury playground for those earning in dollars or pounds. A 2024 Dirty December economic report by the Lagos state government indicates that the city's hospitality and tourism sectors generated over $71.6 million in revenue, with hotels earning about $44 million and shotlets around $13 million.
The depreciation of the naira has helped, but I would say it has helped in things like buying properties, which is also part of the tourism ecosystem. But in terms of taking a cab or in terms of moving around, prices are extremely expensive. For everything in that ecosystem, the tourism ecosystem, rentals, shortlets, taxis, restaurants, eateries, caterers, everyone in that ecosystem would see an increase in demand.
For many, Dirty December isn't just a lifestyle, it's a cultural explosion.
Dirty December is really the new oil. It's the new you, it's the future for us. Dirty December is when we use the whole month of December, from the 1st of December to the end of December, to really bring people into Nigeria that really want to experience Nigerian creative industry.
Top-tier concerts featuring performances from Tiwa Savage, Burna Boy, M.I., Busta Rhymes, and recently, Tanzania-based artist Juma Jukes have packed venues, turning Lagos streets to a bustling festival scene. As diaspora visitors spend freely during the festivities, locals are grappling with sharp price spikes in food, transport, and services, while traffic worsens due to strained infrastructure from the city-wide influx.
You know, there were a lot of things happening in the club.
Quilok's nightclub owner, Sheena Pella, who recently unveiled a full LED screen magic room to attract diaspora fund seekers, defends the hikes as necessary to deliver an international standard experience.
Definitely, it has improved sales in every business that operates, you know, in December, whether it's daytime or nightlife. So, but also in nightlife, because many other businesses happen in nightlife, not just nightclub. You know, you have the cinemas, you have people doing concerts. There are several concerts going on as we speak. You know, so it is a time because the market is here, because Nigeria has already created a service and a market, you know, for people to come around.
Beyond the celebration, fun, and excitement, experts believe Dirty December can provide a sustainable boost to the tourism sector and showcase Lagos on the world stage.
And as we end the program today, here's a fun fact about the continent. Did you know that people living in what is currently Swaziland were the world's first miners? In the late 1960s, a hematite mine was found in the Guinea mountain range, along with 300,000 artifacts and stone-made mining tools that were later dated to be 43,000 years old. And that's it on the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Layo Olarinde.